Hey everybody, Aaron here with another pin video. So today I'm facing the camera, which is a lot different than what I would normally do. So one of my other, I guess you could call it a hobby, would be I collect sort of shoes, so to speak. For those of you that collect fountain pens, it's probably not something very weird to you. But so of course there is a lot of YouTube reviewers out there that review shoes, and most of the shoes I collect are performance-based, like basketball shoes and things of that nature. And so of course one of the things I think is really neat for some of those YouTubers is they actually do like previews of shoes before they're actually released, like initial thoughts and impressions of those, and talk about what they think the experience might be like with that particular shoe. So I thought I'd maybe do something a little bit different with fountain pens, for instance, and talk about some of the ones that I've seen online that maybe just recently came up. Some of these you guys might already own, and maybe give some of my thoughts and impressions of some of those products, and share some of the images with you guys up on the screen so you actually can see them. Most of these are pins that I've seen either through Etsy or I've seen through eBay, for instance. So I'm going to be looking down some at my computer here, actually going through some of the images, and just again sharing with you guys kind of my initial thoughts and impressions of the pins, and then you guys share down in the comment sections what you think about those pins as well. So the first one that I actually had, and I talked about it a little bit in a previous review, is actually the Moonman M300. So we just recently had the M200 launch not that long ago. I've already done a review on the M200. The M300, as far as overall design, to me seems really similar, and when you look at the dimensions online, it's about the same as well. Now there are some different colors to the pen. So the first image I'm going to pop up on the screen is actually the pen that I've bought. I did get this pen off of Bobby Pens, his Etsy site. First time I saw this pen was actually a few weeks ago, and I saw it on Bobby's Instagram account. He posted this exact pen up on the Instagram, and I really liked the acrylic. It's kind of got that red, white, and blue look to it. It's got a lot going on. I could see that this acrylic material could be a little bit more of an acquired taste because it does have a lot going on. To me, there are some subtle differences between this pen and the M200. The first one that I noticed is in the cap band design. You'll notice that it doesn't actually cover, number one, it doesn't have the dual cap band, but it doesn't cover the bottom of the cap. I know sometimes that's kind of important to people because it's kind of that reinforcement piece. But I think it's a really attractive material. I like the fact that you've got a different material offered there. Here's an image of another one, and this one is kind of a really nice brownish hue to it, and I think it's a very attractive pen to look at. So again, another really cool color material. And then again, this is the third color I've seen. This one is got kind of a lot going on. You've got some brown in there. You got some darker, I would say black acrylic, and then some white acrylic. I think it's another really attractive color. As you can already tell, you're going to get another Schmidt nib as well as their converter. Looks like the setup is really very identical to the M200. One thing I did notice, if you're seeing the image right now of the red, white, and blue pen, the threading looks very similar to the M200. So I'm hoping that the pen won't have those cross-threading issues that we saw with the previous M100 fountain pen, and that we've seen with some other Moonman pens as well. I'm sure the build quality is going to be nice. The section to me does look on the smaller side, similar to the M200. But at the same time, it looks to be it doesn't look like it has that same concave that we have with the M200. And I actually really like the M200 section, so it'll be interesting to see the differences in this pen. I don't know if it's enough of a difference with this one to really, for some people to actually want to purchase this pen as far as the design elements. It's very, very similar to the M200. So if you already own that one, this one may not be as important for you, but at least they've launched it in other colors, so I think that's nice. Again, you've got that number 5 Schmidt nib. Moonman, if you guys are ever listening or seeing this, give us a number 6 size nib. That would be amazing. It would make me very happy. I love your fountain pens, but I would love to have a number 6 size nib. And it doesn't have to be a Schmidt nib. Your Moonman nibs are, in my opinion, better than the Schmidt nibs that you put on your pens. Pricing wise, it looks like it's going to range around $47 to $50, whether you get it on Etsy or eBay. So not, you know, up in that little bit more premium price range for a Chinese fountain pen. So that's another thing that might steer people away from it initially. We'll see if that price drops a little bit. It seems to be much higher when you initially see the launch, and then it usually drops down $5 or $10 in some cases. So I think it's a really cool pen though. I'm excited to get mine. When I get mine, I'll definitely do a review for you guys. The next one I have is actually the Pen BBS 355. And now that one's been out for a long time, but we finally have seen some restocking going on through the Pen BBS official store, as well as on eBay through some other eBay sellers also. I've got a couple images up here really to show you guys. The first one, so I did my review just recently of the Pen BBS Smog, which is the 54 color, and I really enjoy that pen. Awesome pen. But you'll see we've got some other pens on here that are available right now. The one that has the kind of white glossy look to it, or iced look, I really think that one is a very attractive pen. Of course, it kind of gives you that winter vibe. It has snowflakes. I would say this is their kind of Christmas release, but I think it's an attractive color. And then we've got the other one that to me gives you kind of a foresty look. I know there's specialized names for these colors. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I do like that one. It's a kind of a springy / summer look to it. And it's a transparent type pen as well. So if you're wanting something like that where you can really see the filling system, I think that's another really cool option. It's an attractive pen. The Galaxy is still available. I've seen it available on eBay a lot. So you still have that colorway available, and it's mainly available in the fine nib. So just so you're aware with that, not a lot of medium nibs out there, but as you guys saw before, you can get one of these, and a lot of these come with medium nibs, and these aren't too terribly expensive. Your Pen BBS 355s, they're ranging you anywhere between 45 to 50 bucks. So I think, again, you know, I know the filling system, a little bit gimmicky, but it's still really neat in my opinion. You get a really high ink capacity. You get a pen that I think overall is manufactured pretty solidly. Just be really careful with that filling system. If you have any questions on it, watch my previous review, and I actually show you how to fill the fountain pen. So really a cool pen though overall, and it's nice to see that we're seeing some more of them coming back out and available for purchase right now. So something else that's been out for a little while, and actually Chris Rap 52, it's in one of his reviews, and I feel like it's something that needs to be mentioned. I've actually had a couple of you ask a question about what would you do if your 456 or your 355, the rubber parts started to break down over time, which we know that's going to happen. Well, now Pen BBS has a pen parts package available for you. I'll post a couple images up on the screen for you so you can actually see what that looks like. So right now we're seeing the actual package and what it would look like when you get it shipped to you. So just in this initial image, you can tell we've got a couple converters in there. That's always nice to have extra converters laying around. You've got some actual feeds. Now, for any of you that have removed a Pen BBS feed, if you're not careful with those fins, I've done this. The first time I ever removed one, I almost destroyed the feed. Those fins are very skinny and a little bit brittle. So it's actually nice that, you know, you'll have some extra of those. You got several O-rings, several rubber parts and different things in the package to help replace anything, whether you lose it while you're cleaning it, which we all know that can happen very easily, or just if it breaks down over time. Here's an additional image, kind of show you everything laid out. Looks like you have a piston attachment in there as well. And from what I can tell, it looks like we've got some actual piston heads in here also, which is nice because those, if they're similar, they would probably fit your 456. Obviously your 309, that looks like that piston mechanism would definitely fit your 309. So I know the 309 is really prone to sticking. My 309 does it quite a bit. So over time, if you had issues with that, it would be nice to have this pin repair package to do that. So I've already ordered one for me. I think if you've got several 456s or anything like that, that would be something beneficial to order a couple. When I get mine in, I'll do just a quick review on it to show it to you guys. But price-wise, you'd be looking at around $12 for the package, and that's including shipping. It might be beneficial to order a couple packages if you think you might need more, because then you can combine your shipping. It is available on Etsy's PinBBS official store as well as eBay. So you have two options of purchasing the package, and the pricing is not too much different. I think it's like $11.50 on eBay and like maybe $12 on Etsy. So really not much of a difference. Now something else that's really cool that PinBBS, and there's a reason why PinBBS is like one of the top Chinese, well, they're number one in my opinion as far as Chinese fountain pens go. But we have the PinBBS pin rest right now. These are really cool. So here's another image up here. Now I know I know Chris Rapp has shown these on one of his videos. I haven't really seen them on anyone else's recently. But here's an image of a lot of the different colors that they have available. Some of these are already selling out. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't, have more, but they're obviously the same acrylics that they're using for their pens. So if you've got a pen made out of one of these acrylics, especially a 323, we all know how that thing just, once it starts rolling, it's rolling. It's not going to stop it, or nothing's really going to stop it. So having a pin rest would be really cool, and just having one of these in general would be really neat. So these are priced around $3.50, and then you usually are going to pay about $6 for shipping, so about $9.50 to $10 per pin rest. Another thing, if you order some, I would order maybe a couple or more, get you some nice colors. They are available right now. I've seen them on Etsy as well as eBay. Here's another image of some other colors that you can see. You see we've got our cedar there, which I think is a really cool acrylic material. It looks like wood. We've got, I think the one up in the top left corner there is gorgeous. You've got some pink ones, just green, red, all sorts of different colors on there. And then here's one last image of the pin rest. I think both of those are very attractive. I actually ordered the one that kind of has that amber look to it. And when I get that in, I'll do a review. I ordered a couple of them. So I'm excited. I think it's something you could definitely take to work. If nothing else, it would, from an aesthetic viewpoint, it will look really nice on your desk. Even if you don't really use it for its intended function, it'd be a nice little kind of knick-knack to put on your desk that, again, is a very attractive material. So PinBBS definitely been very busy. They've got so many different pin launches, but it's nice to see the 355s back out. It's nice to see those pin repair parts coming out, and then I think the pin rests are really cool. Now, one pin company that's been a little bit quiet, I would say, is Wingsung. We just haven't really heard a lot from Wingsung as of lately. And now I'm still a huge fan of Wingsung and their vacuum or vacuumatic styled pins. Mine goes with me to work still every day. I mainly like their pump filler that they have. That one's my favorite because it's a little more consistent and the filling mechanism is easier. You're not dealing with a rubber diaphragm that's going to break down. But so what was it? I think 9-10 months ago, Wingsung launched the Wingsung 626, which was an homage pin to the Schaefer Balance. Well, Wingsung has launched with new colors. Now, some of you may have already seen this. I saw this a couple weeks ago. I've already ordered one of them. I'm going to pop some images up here for you. So the first one you're going to see is this kind of brown stone type acrylic. This is the one that I actually ordered. I already own a blue one. And when these pins launched, I think most of us would say they're some of the most beautiful Chinese fountain pens at the time. Now the 626 has its issues. It's not a perfect pin. Some of the mechanical pieces behind the pin are not the most durable, but it's really interesting how the pen kind of gives you that kind of vintage vibe and feel to it. Even the way that it writes, I think that the steel nib that they made or put on this pen, at least mine, was very interesting and somewhat soft for a steel nib. But you could actually get some line variation, and it was just a very nice writing experience. I still enjoy using my 626. It's not an everyday writer for me, but I still get it out and ink it up and use it, and it's still a pen that I enjoy using quite a bit. So when I get this in, I'll definitely do a review. Here's some other images. So here's a really attractive pink one. I think it's, again, really neat that they are coming out with these other colors. This one looks like it has a white dot. I'm sure they'll have white and gold dots. I've seen them with both. And then this one, I guess you call that color like a turquoise color. I think this one is really attractive. You'll see, you know, we've got our traditional Wingsung nib there. And it looks like we've got that Wingsung branding down there on the collar there, if you can see that with the 626. You can't really see it that well in the image. And then we've got our Wingsung converter as well. But it's nice to see that they're keeping with that nib. Here's an additional image with all of the pins kind of in a lineup. So we still have our green and our blue and our white and our red, our original launched pens, but now they're adding to that lineup. So just when I think Wingsung's been really, really quiet lately, you know, they've had some releases, but I don't think that, you know, nothing too crazy or anything. Now they've got these pens coming out, and I'm very excited for them. Pricing wise, about the same price as you would pay, as we were paying before. So anywhere between $27 to $30, depending upon if you're buying it on Etsy or on eBay. They're available on both. So definitely check that out if you're wanting to get one of these pens. It's really cool, again, that they've restocked these, and we've got some different colors available. So I'm very excited to get mine. They are available too with those 14 karat gold nibs, those Hero 14 karat gold nibs. So I mean, if you're somebody that, you know, wants to try that out, I think those are ranging around $80 to $100. The price kind of fluctuates, I think, sure, based off the seller that you're purchasing from. So there are those options as well. Most of those I'm seeing in the original color launches, so the green, blue, white, and red. The newer ones, I haven't seen the 14 karat gold nibs on those yet, but again, just something to note. As far as that goes, guys, I mean, that pretty much takes care of it. I was wanting to keep this video around 20 minutes, but let me know what you guys think. If you have any of these pins already, tell us down in the comment section, you know, and then also if there's anything that you want me to look into for you guys. I'm not always just going to do Chinese pins every week. You know, I'm going to try, and one thing I try and keep up with is on Twitter and Instagram. It's kind of hard to keep up with anything, but anything that I see that's launching, I may not do these videos every single week. I may do them every other week. Let me know if you think it's kind of neat to do something different versus just always doing pen reviews. Comment down below what you think. Until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.